Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie Brown and I usually do a lot of videos on planners and journaling and art, but I have recently started a health journey series. If you want to start at the beginning, I will definitely have that for you in the description. This video is kind of the second part to my third video. The focus is what I eat in a day. And I want to really highly emphasize protein, nutrition, muscle preservation. Like, these are the things that I have had to think about in this last recent leg of my journey towards health. Protein is something you will hear a lot about if you've done any sort of research or any sort of figuring out diet stuff, especially for women as they age. Like, we can tend to not eat enough protein, and when you are getting older, you are losing muscle mass, and we have issues like people falling and breaking hips and breaking bones. And for me, I want to be old and not have my bones be super brittle. I would like them to be dense and healthy. Muscle mass and bone density has been proven, like they kind of go together. Like, if you have a lot of muscle mass around your bones, then your bones are going to be denser. That is one of the reasons why I have really taken a lot of intention to increase my protein, and I also am lifting now, so I will get to that video with the movement. But because I've been lifting more, I need to feed my muscles. I am currently on the plan Weight Watchers, and this is a point-based system, and the points are given based upon how much protein, fat, and carbs. So every single food item will get points. So something that's 9 points, obviously it's either real sugary, carby, or real fatty, maybe not very proteiny. Some things kind of like balance themselves out. Sometimes they'll give you some 0 point foods that you're like, wow, I can't believe that's 0 points. For instance, they just recently made potatoes 0 points. And I was like, is this for reals? Because I was having to count kind of, I think it was like 3 points for a medium-sized potato. So it's a point system. And for me personally, I get 23 points a day. And I could totally eat all those points. But a lot of times I don't eat all the points if I'm doing a lot of protein, because a lot of things that are like super protein rich, a lot of times are 0 points or very, very low. Let me just go through my day and tell you what I typically eat. I have also been, since my last video, I was like really bad with sugar. So I have been on like a 2-week sugar fast. I have not been eating sugar. I think I had a couple Reese's peanut butter cups this last weekend, and I hated the way it made my body felt. And I'm like, get them away from me. Tomorrow I am making a dessert for my son for his 21st birthday. And I'm like, I'm going to have to figure out, like, what am I going to do? Because I don't want to eat sugar. In the morning, when I get up, I usually have like a cup of coffee, and I'll either drink it black or I'll use like sugar-free creamer. That's 0 points. And then every single morning, every single morning, I have scrambled eggs that I make in my cast iron, and it is 1 point. I use 4 eggs, I use onions, I use a tablespoon of bacon bits. They're like the real bacon, you know what I'm saying? It's like a bag of like bacon bits. And that's the 1 point for that whole meal. And then I use just the teeniest bit, a teaspoon of shredded cheese, which is 0 points. So that whole entire bowl of scrambled eggs is 1 point, and it's very satisfying, and it's a lot of protein. And when I'm lifting weights, when I do my Monday, Wednesday, Friday CrossFit, I will add in there it's called, I believe it's called Ascent protein powder drink. It's about 20 grams of protein, and it does cost 2 points for me, but I really like the extra protein. If I'm feeling like I want the extra protein with just a bit less points, I can eat like a cup of non-fat cottage cheese, and there's this really yummy raspberry spread, and it does have sugar in it, but I use a teaspoon, like a little teaspoon of it. That teaspoon is a point. And so that's about, for my breakfast, either 3 points or 2 points for my breakfast. And it's 40 to 50 grams of protein for breakfast. So I really like to kick off the day with a lot of protein. That will help me support the muscles that I've just used for my workouts. And again, just support muscles in general, because You want to keep your muscle mass as you age. I have a few favorite snacks that I like to eat throughout the day. If I'm feeling snacky, I will eat like an apple, which is 0 points, with a teaspoon. I'll take a teaspoon of peanut butter and just smear it as much as I can over the apple slices. That's a point for the peanut butter. So that's a 1 point snack. If I get like a HEB or, some sort of pretzel stick, the HEB pretzel sticks, 26 sticks is 2 points. You can reduce that amount of the sticks and it's 1 point. So that's something, if I'm feeling like just right now I want to eat something and not have to prepare it, then I'll just grab some pretzel sticks, and that'll like usually keep me through to whatever I'm doing next. And it is kind of carby, but again, it's 2 points. I keep track of it. Sometimes I'll just eat some more non-fat cottage cheese because there's a lot of protein in it and it's 0 points. I will just like eat a carrot Bugs Bunny style for a snack sometimes. So those are some snacks that I'll eat throughout the day. And sometimes I don't even eat them, but if I'm feeling kind of snacky, I'll fuel my body. That's one thing that I've learned, is that if I'm feeling hungry, then I want to fuel my body with good, nutritious food and not just like be hungry all the time. I actually eat a lot. I feel like I eat more than I used to, and I'm losing weight. For lunch, I typically will have leftovers from dinner the night before, but like even today, I have a leftovers, but I'm letting my husband have it because he loves the soup, the pasta e fagioli soup that I make. It has noodles in it, and so it's like 3 points for a serving of soup, and I don't like using a lot of points for lunches, so I'm gonna give that to him. And I made an egg salad wrap, and all that is, when I make it, is 2 hard-boiled eggs, about a tablespoon of low-fat mayo. I squeeze a teeny bit of honey mustard in there, about a teaspoon of relish, some onions diced up, and then I do some seasonings, and I put that all together after I cut up my egg, and then I put it in this wrap that's about a point. And for that whole wrap, I believe, is 2 points. I'm pretty sure it is. I need to look back on that because I didn't even track it yet. Yeah, 2 points. I'm going to track that right now. And I had a carrot. I will have that wrap. It's actually very satiating. Is that satiating? Satiating? It makes me feel full. And a lot of times what I'll do if I feel like I need just a little bit more, there is a lentil soup that I make, and it's really yummy, super duper easy. I don't really have a recipe for it because I don't. I just make it, and I gotta figure out how I make that soup. I think I've made it on my stories before. I don't know if I've saved it as a highlight, but when I make it again, I will try to figure out a recipe. And it's 0 points. So it's filling, it's protein rich because of those lentils. 0 points. When that extra hunger hits, I can add it onto that wrap lunch, or I can just have it as a snack again. I just love it so much. It's lentils. It's so good for you. Another lunch that I might eat is grilled chicken with rice. And so what I'm trying to do with my lunches is just keep them simple, again, rich in protein and just healthier, but simplicity has really helped me in my health journey. If it gets complicated, then I'm not going to do it. For dinner, I literally have the same menu every single week. The only thing that really changes in my menu is the type of soup I'm going to have on Wednesdays and the meal on Friday, because Friday is our family night that my son and his wife comes over, and my other son, my youngest son, and his girlfriend comes over, and we all have a meal together. So Monday and Tuesday is always it's baked chicken with vegetables, and I will have usually every time broccoli, and one night I'll have the baby golden potatoes, and the next night I'll have sweet potatoes. So it's potatoes. One night is golden, one night is sweet, broccoli both nights. And what I've been doing now with the dinners is I bought, just recently, it was on sale, the Le Creuset French oven, the little baby one. It's so cute. And I will just braise the chicken breasts a little bit, and then I'll put some onion and garlic, and then I kind of toss all the vegetables, the broccoli and the potatoes in there, and then I lay the chicken back on top of the veggies, put the top on, stick it in the oven. I think I did 325 for 40 minutes, and everything cooks in that one pot, and it's just so delicious. Like the vegetables are perfect, the chicken is tender, and then I only have to clean one thing for dinner. So that's been my go-to, is just that roasted chicken and vegetables and that one simple pot. And then on Wednesdays I will do a soup. And last 2 weeks we've done pasta e fagioli soup. I have done white chicken lasagna soup. That one's really high in points. I think that one's like 9 points per serving, and a serving is a cup of soup. So very naughty. It's got sausage in it. So that's why. And I say naughty. I should not. One of the things with the food relationship is that you really shouldn't be qualifying foods as good or bad. Like, you should have a relationship with food where you just make choices based on how you want to feel, you know? And so I don't feel awful with that soup, but I know how many points it is, and it keeps me from enjoying other things through the day. But if I want to have it, I'll make it. But most of the time it's some sort of light brothy soup that's very light, and we enjoy it. It has chicken in it usually, but then sometimes it'll have sausage in it. Thursdays is always my fish night. I will bake some tilapia, and I will cook some broccoli and corn. The entire Thursday meal is 0 points. So tilapia, broccoli, and the corn is 0. It's just such a nice, I don't know. It's a very filling meal. I love baking the fish. I've been able to like perfect the baking on it, and tilapia is just light. It's, not too fishy. It's kind of the chicken of the sea, in my opinion, and so good for you. So much protein. And if I did want to have some sort of like little treat, I would have it on Thursday, because I know that my dinner is going to be 0 points and very filling. So sometimes if I want like a boba tea or a coffee, I'll get it on Thursday, and I won't feel bad about it, because I'm going to have a really nutritious dinner that doesn't cost me any points. Friday is family night, and I do indulge with a different type of meal. The kids they probably would eat any of the things that I just mentioned for dinner, but I try to make it, more fun. So I will do things like penne rustica, or I will do like a stuffed bell pepper casserole, or I've done taco soup, or I've done just chicken tacos, things like that, something taco-y. I kind of like rotate through. Oh, one of the favorite ones is they love it when I make, it's called an unstuffed egg roll, and then I make a lo mein, like take out lo mein noodles. They love that one. So I'll just kind of rotate through what I know is their favorites, and I've been keeping tabs on like what they've liked and gone back for seconds, and what they're like, thank you, and then not really eating. That's just kind of a wild card night, where the only thing I really have to make energy to think about is Friday. And then Saturday is my date night with my husband, and we will go to a restaurant, and sometimes we'll take it out and have it at the house. But I do try to have, control myself. I will let myself enjoy a little bit more on a Saturday night, but it's really difficult, eating out. So much easier to make food at your house that's like low oils and stuff. Because if you ask for steamed broccoli, I've asked for steamed broccoli, and I've asked no oil, and it'll come, and I can taste the oil because it tastes so good. I'm like, oh wow, this is definitely not steamed with nothing. It is a lot more challenging to eat out, but we do allow ourselves that time to enjoy the food, enjoy each other on a date. And that's just where the weeklies come in for Weight Watchers, is they give you a bunch of weeklies. I say a bunch, it's like 30, 28. I earn a lot of extra weeklies because of my working out, but you get extras so that you can have some enjoyment in your days. And some people will take those weeklies and like spread them out through the week, and they'll have more that they can eat through the day. When I have the best success with the program is when I stick with my 23 and just try my best not to use all the weeklies, but I'll use some of them. And Sundays, I am now doing a Sunday roast with vegetables. Again, in that little pot. It's super easy. It's red meat. And I repeat this menu every single week because it's simple. their low point, and it's enough variety for me to keep it interesting and to keep with it. I want to talk about desserts and sweets. I really believe that if you know something about yourself, if you know a weakness about yourself, do what you need to with that information. Sugar, for me, is a personal weakness. I have to treat it like an addiction. So just like an alcoholic would, a sip of alcohol would be just devastating to an alcoholic. A tiny bit of sugar really can be devastating to me because my weakness is sugar. So I limit my desserts to healthier options. So I do a lot of fruit. One of my favorites when it's in season is pineapple. I will take grapes and I will eat grapes, strawberries. I try to if I am feeling like really sweets, then I will have a lot of fruit. One of the things that I'll do if I want to even spruce it up more with fruit is I'll take some pears, I'll slice them, put some cinnamon on them, and I will bake them in the oven. And as they come out, there's that, I can never pronounce it right, but it's like Newfoundland cheese or whatever. It's like it'll say on there 1/3 the fat of cream cheese. It's that really healthier version of cream cheese. And I'll just put like a teeny dollop on the pears and we'll eat a little teeny bit of the cheese with the pears. That's really good. And it's hot. So a lot of the fruit, is not hot, it's cold. And sometimes I feel like a hot dessert. So I'll have that. And then one of my other favorite dessert things that I'll do when I'm really like, oh my gosh, I need something, is I'll take non-fat Greek yogurt. And I'm talking about no vanilla. The vanilla will get you with the sugar, but it's non-fat plain Greek yogurt. And then I take pure maple syrup, about half a tablespoon, and I put it on top and I kind of mix it around a little bit and I eat it. It's about a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. That has a lot of protein in it, and it's, I think, 1 point for that half tablespoon of that sweet maple syrup, but it gives me a little bit, just a teeny bit of sweet. And I still have to be careful with that because it tastes so sweet. My strategy for dessert is just like controlling portions and using self-discipline to avoid excess sugar. My final tips is that, being on Weight Watchers and having this point system, it made me immediately aware of how much I was eating and for the different things. So for instance, before when I'd have my scrambled eggs, then it wouldn't be anything for me to put 2 tablespoons of shredded cheese on my eggs. And when I started having, they ask you to really measure and weigh things at the beginning so that you're aware. I realized, oh my gosh, like I was eating like 4 points in just cheese on my eggs. So now that I'm aware of that, I'm like, okay, can I decrease that? Can I still enjoy the taste of the cheese on my eggs, but just decrease it a bit? So that teaspoon of shredded cheese, and it's just like a tiny sprinkling. I put half of the eggs in the bowl, a little tiny sprinkling so it can kind of melt, like a little pinch, like maybe 8 string little shreds of cheese. And then I put the rest of the scrambled eggs in there and do 8 more shreds of cheese. And that's about a teaspoon, and it's 0 points. I can still enjoy the taste of the cheese on my eggs, but it's not, it's not excess. It's not a ton. So that was really helpful for me in like just the awareness of what I was eating. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much I'm putting into my body. Even this last 2 weeks, I started weighing and measuring things again because I got away from it. And eventually you do kind of, know what things are. But over time, if you let yourself kind of get away from some discipline, then those portions kind of grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then you're like, oh, reset. I need to start measuring and weighing again. A lot of people, that is not for it. Dietrich, that is like, nope, I'm not going to measure. I'm not going to weigh, but just, try just doing less, and that will be helpful. Going back to, me resetting about 2 weeks ago, right after Christmas, I was up over 200 pounds. And I talked in my first video about, it's not all about numbers, but apart from the numbers, I was like out of control. Like I did not have any self-control anymore. I didn't feel good. I was feeling really inflamed and sore. And so I was just like, you know what? I've got to start again. I on that video, I said that I'm not giving up, and I didn't. So 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I'm going no sugar. And it's been no sugar with my tracking. I have been really mindful of like the amounts of things. And I've lost like 7 pounds already. And I do lift weights and I do, exercise a lot. Again, it's just consistency. Like just stick with it. Success is not just this linear thing. It's going to be kind of everywhere. And eventually you're going to get to your destination if you don't quit. Self-awareness, discipline, for me, my faith. I mentioned that sugar book in the last video is so helpful. Just my relationship to Jesus has really helped me abiding in the vine and then having that fruit of self-control because I'm abiding in the vine. That's helped me so much. But that is what I eat. That's what literally I eat that all the time. I don't really eat much more than that. If anything, I can tell you for the takeaway of this video is like, where is your protein intake at? How much protein are you eating? My goal for the day is 140 to 150 grams of protein a day. And you're probably like, whoa. Before I was like, oh my gosh, I can't get that. 100 grams of protein is very low for me in a day because again, my breakfast is about 40 to 50 grams of protein. So protein, so important. And having a balance to the way you eat and having good relationship with your food, having consistency and maintaining all of that. Just don't give up. I think it's important for you to find a plan that works for you and stay committed to it because what I'm doing might not work for you. But I did want to just mention what I was eating because some people were asking that. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Thank you so much for being here today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see that first video, click here for that. I will have a little thing here. You can click for it and I will see you in the next video. Bye.